Hello, my crafty friends and creators from around the globe. Welcome back to Heather and Jan's studio. DJ here. And today we are going to do another fun ephemera holder tutorial. And this one is based on this one that you see here. It's just a couple of 8.5 by 11 or A4 sheets of paper sewn down the middle with some pockets. And I actually did this with some 12 by 12 paper that I cut down, but you can, the one we're gonna make today, we're gonna make with 8.5 by 11. It's gonna be a little smaller, but as you see this being made, you'll see how it can be adapted to a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So, let's get started. I have my paper here, and I was using this in the last video. You'll notice this is the same Saville Row set from ShabbyDabbyDooDa on Etsy, and I'll put the link below. And this time I'm going to also use some of the ephemera kit that she includes. Well, this is a separate purchase, but she has the papers in one and then she has these in another. So we'll use some of these. They're gorgeous. They have these beautiful butterflies. There's some postage stamp ones, some labels. This is just a few of the sheets. You get a bunch more sheets with the set. And there's just some frames here. So I thought we'd use these to decorate a little. And I have some vellum here for some pockets, ruler, pencil, scissors, glue. If you have a scoreboard, you can use that. Sewing machine, otherwise you can do a pamphlet stitch to hold these together. You can try to glue them, but it doesn't really work so well, so I wouldn't recommend that, but if that's all you got, you can certainly use that. You could staple them if you have one of those longer staples, because we're going to attach these down the center. So if you have one of those big jammy staplers, you could certainly staple it. You could also find a way to attach it with some brads or something like that if you don't have a sewing machine. So let's get started. I have 2 pieces of paper. Now mine are a little smaller than 8.5 by 11 because I have to cut the ends off. I know, same old story, so I'm just gonna use 2 for demonstration purposes. You can certainly use more than 2 if you'd like. I just found that here I have 3, and as I filled it up, it got bulky. So I'm just gonna use 2 and move out some of the bulkier items into these. And since these are going to be a little smaller, I'm just gonna fold these up. So these are actually gonna be slightly smaller than this size. So if you have 12 by 12 papers, what you can do is fold up the 12 by 12 paper about 3 inches, and then you'll have a 9-inch length by the 12 across. And when you fold it in half, and then you just glue those up as pockets, which is basically what I did for the other one. But I want to make a smaller one here, so I'm just going to fold these up, and then you'll see I'll get about that size, which is fine for me. That's what I want to work with this time, and I think it'll be a little more manageable. And then I'll make a couple of these, and they can hold a lot of different items. I mean, we're only using 2 pieces of cardstock and some decorative items and some vellum. Or 3, whatever you're going with. All right, so first things first, I'm going to score for my pocket, and you can eyeball this. There's no set measurement. I think I'm gonna go about 2 inches here on my sheet. So we'll just score that like that. And then halfway, so my page is, let's see, this is a little more than 10.5. So 5, I'm gonna try here because it's not exactly 8.5 by 11. All right, not really sure what I did there. Maybe I'll just do this and line them up. And that's where we're going with it. Yep, that's it right there. All right, again, this one, we're going to go up 2 on mine. And then I'm just gonna fold it in half. since it's not a real even number. So now I have my interior pocket, and this one as well. And then they will just sit one inside the other like so. So it's a little wider this way and a little shorter this way than the original design, but that's fine. That is fine with me. So the next step is we want to just take a little bit of this bulk off. And if you watched the 12 by 12 ephemera holder that I did recently, it's the same process. If you didn't, I'm going to do it for you now as soon as I even this up. So wherever your pocket is, you just want to fold it down, and then you're going to fold this back in half. And we're just going to clip a bit off of this. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to go on a bit of a diagonal. So I'm going to go and cut off like a little triangle. I'm going to cut up to that fold line, and that will just release some of the bulk in the center here so that it's not so bulky in the middle. All right, so real thin on an angle up to the fold line, and then that gives you a little triangle there in the center. Okay, and that just removes that bulk from when we're folding it together like this, so it doesn't crease. I'll do the same thing on this one, just folding it over and cutting a little bit on an angle up to the fold, like so. Okay, like so. Simple, simple. We're gonna glue up our pockets and decide, you know, which way you want to go with all of this. If you want a different cover piece for the cover, then, you know, go ahead and do that. I think this is fine. I actually might go this way and cover up that lady so I don't cut her off. Like that. And then maybe I'll go this way and make this the cover so that it's not the same repetitive pattern. Like so. Like that. Yes, I like it. All right, so that's what I'm doing. I hope everyone is having an amazing week. And we are getting into some springtime weather here in New York, although today the Weather Channel is full of doom and gloom. It's St. Pat's Day, and there's just a lot of tornadic activity, and it's very scary. So I hope everybody is okay there in those states, Louisiana, around that area. Send my prayers and love. I hope everybody stays safe. Yeah, just not good, but it's that time of year. We're finally getting some warm weather here. If you're lucky enough to live in warm weather all the time, then it's no shock to you. But yeah, it's gonna be nice. I get to garden again. Does anybody here garden? Let me know in the comments if you like to garden. Nobody ever comments. No comments. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you guys will comment. Okay, so yeah, I want this one on the outside. Let's see, like that. And I think I'm just gonna have to cut a smidge off of this inner one because it's just slightly longer. So let me do that. Just a hair, you know, just because it's fitting inside of another item, it's just a little longer. If you have a guillotine, you could certainly use that. It's probably neater, but I have scissors. All right, let's see. Yeah, that fits a little more flush. And my pocket is still glued in place. Oh, that's good. And now we want to sew down the middle. So I'm gonna do that, and if you want, you can reinforce it with some washi tape. I did that on this one here. I just put some washi, oh, there's my foot to my sewing machine. I just put some washi in here to kind of reinforce it. You can do that if you want to. I'm not gonna do that in this case, but I think what I'll do is just run a bead of glue down the center, a very thin bead of glue. And then when I sew it, it'll also be glued. But I'm just gonna wait for it to dry and then sew it together. Like that. Like that. All right, so before I sew it, while we're waiting for that glue to dry, let's think about where we wanna put some vellum. If I can hold a lot of little things in here, I think I want to cut some vellum for maybe the top and then maybe just a thin piece here. So let's see what size we need. So this is about 5 1/4, and I think I'll cut my pieces about 5 inches wide and about 2 inches tall. And that'll give me some room to glue and still have room to put stuff in. And on these, we can probably go about 1 1/4 inches, and then we can tuck really tiny stuff in. So we'll still have room for gluing and some tiny stuff. So 1 1/4 inches and 2 inches by 5. So we're gonna go 5 across. On mine. Obviously yours is going to be what yours is going to be. So 5. And if you don't have vellum, you can just use cardstock. I wouldn't use tracing paper because I feel like that's not going to be sturdy enough. If you have transparency film, that'll work too. So let's see, 2 inches. 2 inches. And then I'll do some at 1 1/4 inches. We'll see where we end up here. 1 1/4 inches. And if you don't want to measure, just cut them to the size that will fit. I can do another 2. And another 2. So we'll do that. All right, so that was 1 sheet of vellum that I used. And I still have this here that I could use, but this is enough to get us started. I'm just gonna sew up my booklet now because it is dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So I just did a very simple stitch, and now it wasn't perfect on this side, so I think I will just cover that over with a piece of lace or a piece of offcut of the cardstock, just to cover that up. And I will trim off my ends here, like so. Come on. All right, I sewed my end. So now we have this all stitched together, and we'll glue there. And we'll put on our vellum pieces. So I think I'll go about there. And you can make these in a lot of different sizes. As you can see, there's quite a few ways that you could lay these out, and you can put in more sheets, or you can just do a bunch that are small like this and have them organized by different types of ephemera. For all of your different paper crafts. I think these work great for junk journal ephemera because it's always really flat for the most part, and you know, it just, you have so many different things. You know, if you cut things out of magazines and you print your own printables, or you just print images off the internet or kits from Etsy, you just end up having like a lot of little extra pieces. At least I do. So I think these are great just to organize all your stuff so it's not just constantly all over your desk. Even, you know, your scraps, if you do collage and you want to organize some scraps, you could use these for that. I think that would be a great way to, you know, kind of keep themed items together for your collage. And then you don't have to go digging through piles, which is usually what I end up doing. I'm usually digging through boxes of scraps. So this is a lot more organized in my book. That's that. So I think you get the gist of that. And then we could probably put another one. So this one doesn't have any pockets at all. So I'll put 2 on this page, and then I'll decide to do, or what I'm going to do with the rest off camera. And then we'll spend some time decorating. My favorite part. It takes forever to get there. But once you get there, that's where all the fun is. All right, we'll put this one here, like so. Super quick project. And you can design these so many ways. Let's see what I got. I think, let's see. Trying to find something, I think, to use for this edge here. So maybe that. Let's see. Just want to cover up that stitch. So how big is that? About, I guess, I don't want to go too far in because then I'm going to lose that rose. What is that? 3/4 of an inch, so 1.5 inches, so that I cover both sides. Oh, which way did I say? Here, and then I'll just trim it. 1.5 inches. And then I will just cut it to the desired length. So let me take that rose off. I can use that elsewhere. And make it that way. No, cutting off the words that way. Oh, this is fine. It's fine. I'm gonna cut off the words. It's fine. So, right about there is where I want to cut it. Yep, I totally lost that mark. too funny. Okay. Like so. Now I will just fold it in half. Oh, and we have a little butterfly there. Oh, maybe I like it that way. No, we're going this way. Just do what you're doing. Stop getting distracted. Okay. All right. Like so. And I'm not going to crease it hard because I want it to sort of bend around. Like so. I don't want to have a hard crease there. And then that will cover up my not so perfect stitching. And nobody will be the wiser. All right, I left my glue open. All right, so I'm just putting in a decent amount of glue because it's going to be bent over around, so I just want to make sure it sticks really well. Like so. And then we'll just fold that around like so. Make sure it's glued down really nice. Not creasing it, just pushing the paper down really tight, like so. There we go. And it's got a little bit of a bit in the middle there where it's not sticking, so it's fine. It's good. It's good. All right, so now, oh, it's so pretty. I don't even know if I want to cover it up. Let's see, where did I put those extra pieces? Here. Oh, Tina, you made it so pretty. I don't want to cover it. Yeah, it's just so gorgeous. You know what I could do is I could cut off one of these, like this butterfly card, or even this one. I could cut it out and then use it as a pocket. And this one, or like a belly band or a tuck. Oh, let's do it as a tuck. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. So we'll quick cut this out. This is like a little library card with some pretty pink flowers on it. Butterflies. And I absolutely love that she put this on, like not just a white background, but a color so that even the pieces I cut off, I can use. And you know, you don't need a digital set. Use what you have. I just fell in love with this as soon as I saw it. I just loved all the browns and pinks together. But don't, especially if you're starting out, you don't want to, you know, feel the pressure of having to buy stuff. I know I'm going to show it on here. And not that these sets are super expensive. Well, you know, that's relative, right? What's not super expensive to me may be to you. So even a couple of bucks may not be in the budget. I've been there, I know what that's like, and you have to start with what you have. So use a magazine, use, you know, pieces out of, you know, some junk mail, paint on them. You can collage, make master boards and cut those up and use them. It's fine. Whatever you have is absolutely fine. Don't be intimidated because you can't buy a set, or you know, you don't have all the stuff. Just use something that you have. Once you start creating, you actually learn from that process. So if you're not doing it, then you're not learning. And you have to make mistakes along the way. I've ripped apart projects. I haven't been doing this very long, which I'm sure some of you can tell. But the stuff I have done in the last couple of years, I've learned by doing. I've ripped things apart. Like I said, I have, you know, just tried using magazines, and I paint on paper, which is, you know, I have composition books and I'll glue the pages together and just paint on those, and that works fine. And you don't have to be a great artist either. You can just really kind of put paint anywhere, have fun with it, scribble on it, do mark making on it, and then tear it up and put it into a collage, and trust me, it'll be beautiful. So don't feel the pressure of having to buy a kit. So that's cute though, a little tuck there. I can tuck some bigger items there. I can put some other items here. Let's see, I really want to use one of these. I know I'm gonna be making another junk journal with them, but there's a label here. Maybe I could put that up here. So I'll speed this up because fussy cutting is not fun to watch. Okay, so the label is cut, but now it's not really easy to see. Is it? Is it? No, it's not. It is not. All right, we'll use that for something else. Yeah, you know what? Nothing's doing this. It's already gorgeous. It's already gorgeous, Tina. I'm not gonna mess with it. Another quick and easy ephemera holder for you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, and if you like the items that you see here and you want to see more, I do a lot of junk journals, ephemera for inside the junk journal. So if that's your thing, then please subscribe or join me in the Hither and Yon Create Space Facebook group. All of the links will be below for any of that you need, as well as a link to Tina's kit here. Thanks for sharing your time with me today and creating our ephemera holder, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Thanks again for stopping by.